Hello and welcome back to the Dublo Railway. And those of you who watched my last video will be thinking, my, this looks familiar, it's even shot from the same angle, so what is going on here? Well, I thought that it might be of interest to the people who look at these videos to see what had to be done to shoot the last video. And what had to be done is, if I pull back here, you can see that there is a bridge to nowhere there, and if I head up to the other end of the layout, there's the abutment to a bridge to nowhere there. What I did in order to get the shots of these 8Fs running around was to remove two fairly substantial bridges and their central pier, which sits about here. And so I thought what I'd do this time is just talk about those bridges and how I put this part of the layout together. So if we move up here and start here, you'll see a tunnel on the bottom level of the layout, and over here some stabling for locomotives, and here we run onto a bridge. Now this bridge is just a combination of Pico side frames for bridges. You can see those there, they're just super glued onto some MDF, and everything is painted in a fairly close approximation of Hornby Dublo orange for bridges. Now there are some other bridges on this layout that are this colour, and if I just move up the layout and pan over to here, you can see those, and they're the subject of another video one day. Anyway, when I removed the two large bridges, I got all this space along here in which I could shoot. But let's come back to this. Now, my thinking is that when I set up this layout, there were a couple of ways I could go. I could put full scenery in. I really didn't want to do that. I've never done that with my Hornby Dublo layouts. I could have this all on one level with nothing but Hornby Dublo scenic effects, such as they are, like footbridges and the little orange single lane bridges. Or I could do something in between. And what I decided to do was, actually, in order to make sure that I could connect this end of the layout with the other end of the layout, was to run a long set of bridges, maybe about 2.5 to 3 meters long, along here. And so I just set about doing a bit of woodwork and getting out the spray can, and it really didn't take much more than that, a few bits and pieces of Pico. And then, as you will see later on in this video, I stumbled upon some laser cut MDF bridge kits on eBay, and that's what the two other orange bridges that you saw earlier are made of, and it is what the two large bridges that connect to, where is it in there, connect to here, are made of. And so we'll have a look at what it is now that fills this gap. I'm on the other side of my layout at the moment, the opposite side to where the bridge should be, and I'm just going to walk along my workbench here and show you a reasonable close-up, I guess, of the bridge or bridges and their various parts. In the foreground you see the track that goes on the bridges. Now, what these are, if I come in here, you can see that these are hopefully you can see that these are laser cut, and that there are two pieces here that have been glued together. There's some bracing, and then there's the deck, which is marked out for two tracks. Now, I got these off eBay. They were reasonably easy to put together. The colour scheme is one approved by my decor consultant, who was somewhat skeptical about the idea of a big band of orange running along one side of my layout. Now, between these two bridges is a pier that I've made, and this is just made out of MDF and a few bits and pieces. And the bridge, or each bridge, just sits up on here like that, and just lift it into place, and the tracks run across that. Now, I don't secure the track to the base of these bridges. Well, not at the moment anyway, because I like to be able to remove them fairly easily, because it allows me to get to work on that side of the layout. And I'll just give you a quick view of that. I'll just scan up, and you can see where the bridge would go. What else is there to say? Well, I am thinking about securing these, but I don't know that I will. And one job that I've got to do when I have all this here is to replace this piece of track with this piece. Now you can see the center rail here looks a bit dull. In fact, it's steel and it's a bit rusty. So I'm replacing it with the one in front of it, and hopefully that will give better running. The trains certainly slow down when they hit a piece like this, and no matter how often I clean it, it always seems to tarnish. Now, an alternative to screwing down the tracks on here would be to place some small pieces of I guess MDF or something like that in the center here and out at the sides to hold the tracks in place, because the one thing they do is they, if I come up the other end, over quite a distance, as you can see, tracks that are loose move about a little bit, and they're not the nice straight lines that we like. Anyhow, that's the big bridges here, and we'll move on to some other bits and pieces in this video now. Back on the western side of the layout, everything has been cleaned, and we're just getting ready now to put things back into place. So I'll hold this with one hand and try and do this as gracefully as I can. Just pop that into place. This bridge fits in there like that, and just drops down onto this. The second bridge, which is sitting up here, I'll just reach over and get that. These are quite light, so that just fits in like that, and because the fish plates here protrude, I'll actually lift this end. I hope you can see me doing that, and then I just fit that in there, and if we just run quickly down the structure, you can see how everything fits together. And the next job is to put the cleaned tracks back in and run something along here for a test. And with an aged what is it, Silver King in the background, you can see one set of tracks is in, and I'll just go and fetch the other. Quick walk down the bridges with both of the lines replaced. Now you can see that very clearly they're not secured, and they're reasonably straight at the moment, but everything is just relying on gravity. And of course what happens is trains run along here and these move. So I will be looking at some means of securing these tracks without having to screw them down. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll close with this shot of a suburban train between the two spans, and look forward to the next video.